Hey, Tommy, I knew we could count on you.
You really want me to do this? I've never raced before.
Okay, I know it won't be easy, but we don't have a choice. If you can do it, we won't lose out.
Do I look like I can do this? I don't even know the rules.
Look, it's a cakewalk. You go 5 laps and you need to come in first for us to win. If you come in second, the dough's lost. But since we tuned that clown's car a little, everything should go smoothly. Also, at those speeds, it's quite normal for someone to bang into you. So watch out for those other bastards. Good luck, Tom. I know you can do it.
Well, I don't believe it.
Tom, half the neighborhood and all our boys bet on the Don's boy. Do you know what it would mean if you lost? The Don would lose. You would lose all the respect which we busted our asses to build up. People give us their trust as well as their dough. Do you understand what's at stake?
Yeah, I got it, Frank. I understand.
Take it easy, son. Show them what you're made of.
One day Frank asked me to stop by the bar. He said he had a little job for me, so of course I showed up.
Tom, we got 2 trucks full of the best liquor coming in from Canada. Sam's gone out to the handoff point to meet them. They're in an old farm outside of town, and we need to get the shipment to the city. I'm sending 2 trucks out. Paulie's going with one of them. I want you to go with them and keep an eye over everything, just to make sure it all goes smoothly. Get a car from Ralphie and join up with Paulie over at our warehouse. Paulie will give you some weapons when you get there.
Okay, Frank?
It's the life. Police, countryside, stress. You know, we ought to do this more often.
Better in the daytime.
I think you'd rather be with Luigi's little girl. Sarah, right? That's your night shift.
Lay off. What do you know about it?
Same way as everybody else knows. Heck, even Luigi knows you're chasing her. I figure you ain't too bothered. Saved the virginity after all. But I bet you stole her right back, huh?
Shut up, Paulie. I didn't know you were there.
Nah, come on, Tom. I'm kidding. She's a good girl. You're good for each other.
I ain't so sure. Somehow I can't imagine coming home and saying, "Guess what, Sarah? Had a hell of a day at work today. I had to kill 10 people."
You can't talk about stuff like that at home. If you don't act like the way they describe you in the papers and you're good to her, just ignore all that crap. Hey, she's loaded.
So it seems normal to you to hide who you really are from your own wife your whole life.
Don't worry so much. Damn it!
What's going on?
Sam should be waiting here, but he isn't.
Smells fishy.
Look, we'll wait here with the trucks. You go quietly, check out what's going on.
Thanks for the confidence.
Here's some toys to take with you.
Luckily, everybody bought that Frank was dead and that I had disposed of his body. So Frank's funeral took place without Frank. The Mafia has a habit of organizing grand funerals for important people, where they forget the unfinished business they have with each other, or with the dead. The deceased are only shown in a good light. It's the principle of every gangster, at least at a funeral. So it happened that not only Salieri and our people made long speeches about their best friend Frank, but even Morello and other gangsters. Morello and Salieri cried on each other's shoulders. It didn't seem like they had been at each other's throats only the day before. Frank would have been spinning in his grave had he actually been dead. I guess everything turned out pretty well, only I had to think up something about Frank's family. Salieri, of course, wanted to help out his best friend's poor widow till the end of her days. I couldn't let him know that they were really resting comfortably in Europe at that moment.
Tommy, it seems our problems aren't over. The prosecutor who nearly got Frank against us is digging up more dirt, and I've heard he even has witnesses. It looks like that councilor whose son you shot is sorely craving revenge. The prosecutor is a good friend of his, and if we don't nip it in the bud, they'll make big problems for us.
That doesn't sound too good.
What's even worse is that guy doesn't trust anyone. He has all the evidence against us in a safe at his villa. Sam and Paulie are taking care of the witnesses right now as we speak. And you've got to get that evidence, Tom.
How will we get to it?
Well, today we have an excellent opportunity. Mr. Prosecutor has decided to go to the theater, and nobody else will be home. That is, nobody apart from the home security, of course. But his study will be empty. His villa is in the Millionaire's Quarter. Mr. Prosecutor isn't exactly a poor boy.
Thanks, Luigi. Your only concern is how to get in. But there'll be guards around the villa. Once inside, you should be fine. The villa will be empty. The prosecutor's office is on the first floor, and there should be a safe in the wall. For that, you'll have Salvatore with you. That's a guy who manages to open every safe in America. Once you've got all the evidence, leave before the prosecutor arrives back home.
Okay, boss. Where can I find this Salvatore?
He'll be waiting for you down in Hoboken on the corner next to the stadium, so you can pick him up on the way there. I don't have to tell you how important this job is to us, Tommy. Buona fortuna.
I'll do my best, boss.
And Tommy, if you happen to bump into the prosecutor, don't kill him, no matter what. It'll just bring us more problems.
You can depend on it, boss. So show me what you can do, Salvatore.
Okay, Chief.
Christ. It looks like we better get out fast, Salvatore.
Got it, Chief. Piece of cake.
Well done, boys. The last job went fine. There's no evidence or witnesses left against us. Thanks to your persuasive methods, they won't even squeak.
Thanks, boss. We try to make you happy.
Well, you certainly did. But today we're here for something else. Paulie has a pretty interesting proposal.
Well, I met a guy from Kentucky, William Gates. Everyone knows that Kentucky makes the best homebrewed whiskey. Well, anyway, this guy almost threw up when he tried the whiskey which Morello sells here. When he gave me a drink of this stuff they brew back there, forget about it. I won't drink anything else. So I asked him about it, right? He said it was no problem and that he could deliver me as much as I wanted. You know, I got jazzed thinking about the dough we'd make on it. Well, I ordered a truckload of it. I said to myself, if it catches on here, we can make a bigger deal later.
It would certainly be a good replacement for the loss of our Canadian. I like it. Nice one.
Me too.
So we're gonna pick up some beautiful booze.
I'm already looking forward to it.
Where they hiding it?
They'll meet us in the big parking garage.
We have to be more careful than we were before. You'll get to the place by car with 2 other boys. They'll be your escort on the way back. You 3 pick up the truck and take it to our warehouse in Hoboken. The boys are already out in the yard waiting in the car. And bring me back a bottle so I can finally drink something decent.
Count on it, boss. Get in. We're going for some medicine.
Here, Tom. This might come in useful.
Thanks.
Wait for us here, boys. We'll be back in a little while. When we drive out, follow after us. Then, we'll have a shot at the warehouse.
Sure, boss.
Hey there, Bill. It's good to see you again.
Hey, Paulie.
These are my partners who are good friends. They like the idea of working together. And they also like first-rate whiskey, which yours certainly is.
That it is.
The main thing is that Don Salieri likes it too. And since he's financing the whole deal, here's your first payment for the goods.
Give Mr. Salieri my regards. I'm always happy to do business with people like him.
You should be, Bill. You could hit it big with this. If this small delivery works out for us, we'll order a lot more next time.
Take cover!
What's going on?
Jesus, who are they?
Fire! Kill the bastards!
Damn!
So it looks like Morello got in the way of things again, boss.
Can't seem to shake off this bad luck.
Boys, you won't believe this, but it's completely the other way around. The only one who really had bad luck this time was Morello.
What?
I found out who our Mr. Gates really was.
And?
Gates was never really from Kentucky. He was a small-time thief who stole the goods from Morello and wanted to sell them to us. Morello doesn't think that he almost stopped our deal, but that we pinched a truckload of his most expensive whiskey. I bet that bastard's happy now.
Unbelievable!
Well, that worked out just fine. Let's drink to that.
To another success, boys. Salute.
The end of Prohibition in '33. You probably weren't too happy, huh? The end of the good old days.
Yeah, not too happy, but it wasn't all bad. Eventually, I did get married to Sarah and had a daughter. It was a good time. But life went on in business. We made a huge amount of dough during Prohibition, which we invested into new deals. A lot of them were legitimate. We had regular firms like construction, transport, restaurants. We ran labor unions. And of course, there was gambling, betting, the lotteries. We actually did really well. We just tried to stay out of drugs, even if it wasn't always easy.
Come on, business is business, right?
You're way off there. The Cosa Nostra ain't no patties or Chinamen. With drugs comes big money and even bigger problems. When someone has a problem with the cops because of drugs, he does the sensible thing. He admits it. If his family catches him, they rub him out. Drugs are taboo.
So what, there's some kind of grand poobah passing judgment?
Something like that. The leading families choose a boss of bosses. They sort out the big problems and set the rules of the game.
So, criminals who break the law have their own courts that judge them? That's just great.
Laws aren't changeless holy words. Every country in the world has their own. It's just somebody with a lot of power applying their own will. It depends on the person whether they'll serve someone else blindly or apply their own will. Why should the Don be restrained? The Mafia prevailed through Prohibition with its own laws. A handful of poor, uneducated immigrants from Sicily were stronger than all the laws, courts, and police here in the States. That took some doing.
What, with murder? With the suffering they caused?
Come on. You think that the Mafia just murders innocent people? The Mafia punishes those who break laws. And the majority of your laws, too. Unfortunately, we can't put anyone in jail or fine them. Everybody who comes and works for us knows what to expect if he breaks the rules. People lie and steal, and there are lots of criminals here who get unbelievable pleasure when they steal from the mob, as well as the mafiosos who get pleasure from cheating the state.
And what about all the payoffs, robberies, and raids, huh?
Hey, the cops ain't no saints neither. No Don encourages his men to go around harming people. And what other people do on their own isn't our concern. And as for payoffs, most people come to the Don for help and advice on their own. And they'll pay gladly for it. The Don is an esteemed person, but not every Don is like Salieri. That's the truth.
There you go. Your system works, but you know why? Because you're a bunch of selfish murderers. And you only care about your own gain. All your efforts are spent ensuring that you live like pigs in shit. That's why you're so successful. You're only looking out for yourselves. We look out after everybody. A few cops have to ensure law and order for all, and that's a much harder job.
That's true. But you can easily leave the Don outside your protection. He'll watch his own back.
And what about you? What are you sitting here for?
Ah, Tommy. I'm glad you're here. I was afraid I'd miss you.
Hey, boss. What's going on?
There's something I've been looking forward to all week. I'm going to Pepe's restaurant for lunch, but my personal bodyguard is called in sick. There's nobody here who could take me, and I prefer not to go to these things alone. You'll take me, won't you?
Certainly, boss.
Bravo. Let's get going then. I'm already pretty hungry. Have you got a piece on you, Tommy?
Yeah, I got one. You think I'll need it?
Well, probably not. But it's better to be sure. You know how it is. We'll take my card.